devastation has struck our Stanford Cardinal Dynasty. Everything is gone. As I went to record our next episode to start our 5-game road streak, well, I opened up our Dynasty files and I found out that essentially the game had overwritten all of our previous saves with my Kennesaw State Test Dynasty. The auto saves, the actual save, it was all overwritten. The only thing we had was the auto save where we started this dynasty pre-release. So that meant I had to get things caught up. So what we are now doing is jumping into a new universe here. We're still at about the same spot we left off, but things are going to be a little bit different. I started up a new save file with 2 different saves that will be saving at the same time to give us a backup in case something strange happens yet again. Additionally, while going through the new save file, I made sure every single win and loss from year 1 stayed the same. That is the only thing we could ensure was the same. The recruiting class is not the same. The stats were not the same, which then leads to the progression or not so much progression of players being different, and as well, players leaving was different. Additionally, we are going back to week 6, as it was a situation again that we couldn't make the exact same. A different schedule was given with the conference realignment, so I did not skip any Pac-12 games. So the USC game and the Washington State game, those are essentially gone. So where we start is again with the same win against Hawaii. Then we still lost to the Pandas, and I still had us lose to San Jose State. So in week 6, we will have Oregon, then Oregon State, which means again, we will be playing Washington State and USC again this year, as it just was the hand we were dealt with the schedule. I tried to make things as close to where we were as possible. And as mentioned, the roster is still not going to be the exact same, and you could already see one big playmaker still here in A.O. Manor. He not only did not declare to the draft, he didn't even look to transfer, because those stats from the sim last year, he only had around 500 yards, so he didn't have a good year. Who did have a better year, though, was Ashton Daniels. He did increase his overall. In our last save, he stayed an 80, but it's still a very tight group here. Daniels at an 82, Elijah Brown and Miles Jackson both at a 79. I did get a quarterback recruit. He's a 71 redshirt. At running back, the big difference, another player that didn't leave, is Ryan Butler. I did recruit Montrell Dog. He's a running back out of Hawaii, and he pretty much is the same exact player that we had in Bartow. So we got another guy there, but I stuck him on a red shirt this year strictly because Butler stayed around. We also got a fullback as well. He is not being red-shirted. And then at receiver, obviously with A.O. Manor around, we didn't have to go after really any transfers. Not that anyone was even really interested in us at all. We do have and is playing this year a freshman in Bryce Haddad. And he's playing this year not being redshirted because playing time is a deal breaker for him. So he's going to play over Ruben. He'll be essentially that third guy to go out for the outside receiver spot and also be second for the slot. We also had tight end Roush still leave. So McCoy is tight end 1. Johnson did not want to transfer here. But we do have another true freshman starting, at least seeing some rotation, in Kevin Buck. He's a possession guy who's going to bring not only more speed, but more strength to this position. Hands just aren't as good as McCoy, and the blocking can still use a little bit more work, but he'll be seeing some playing time this year. The offensive line different as well. Jake, I believe, transferred in the previous save. He did not this time. He's starting. Baklenko, he was a starter for us before, still a starter now. A new center, also true freshman, in Dean Roth. Instead of Mazza, who was an agile guy, we actually get a power guy, fits with the group more. He's not being redshirted. At right guard, we have Pale, and then at right tackle, we have Simmons, who was just getting the starting spot where we left off again before the save corrupted. Left and right end stays the same, Tafidi and Cooper. Another true freshman starter in Sean Howerton. He is a true run stopper. We might see a little bit of some pass rush, but mostly for the pass rush, it's going to be Roel and Ume. As for the linebackers, again, this is a very young group. Jaleel Parker, he was starting for us before, is still starting for us. And then we have some true freshmen. Tyrone Roseboom at middle linebacker, and then Rico Cote over at right. We're actually going to have Rose, since he did not leave, play a little bit more over Parker. A cornerback group exactly the same as what we had, again, pre-file corruption. And then we do have a redshirt freshman here in Asher. We just got to improve his zone coverage, and then he should see some pretty good starting time next season. Safeties, again, a little bit different. Camp's still a starter for us, however, he's not starting at free like he was before. He's going to start at strong, as we're going to have Sumlin start at free. That means Edwards is not going to be a starter. The man coverage is just poor. It's better here for the two redshirt freshmen, so they're going to get the start, and we'll have Edwards be the primary backup for safety, backup slot corner, and even sub linebacker. And unfortunately for Chickalo, who was finally starting to hit his kicks, he also is no longer here. Instead, we have Quincy Etienne, our new true freshman kicker. And while we typically wait for after the game to talk about recruiting, since again, it's a whole new save basically, we'll run through it real quickly. Already have had one commit, and that is Ed Keenan at receiver. At quarterback, we are currently leading for a 5-star recruit. We are going after a few different receivers, because most likely Ayo Manor will only be here for one more season. And we need some just guys to take over, because we saw how bad it was with the original second season. We're going after one tight end, always could use some help there, especially on the offensive line. A few guys there. Defensive line, a lot of guys here at defensive end, but honestly, half of them are more defensive tackles, because that is a very young group. And we are going after another 5-star here in Levy Battles. True DT, another 5-star here in Keontae Cantwell. And then we will finish off with Jermaine Hennessy. He is a slot-style corner. We just need as much corner help as possible. So it's unfortunate that the save ended up corrupting. I have no idea why, but I got us basically back to the same point, so we're not slowing down this series. It'll be a little bit different. Still want to stick with the same offensive style. We're going to stick with Ashton Daniels at quarterback, because he did improve for his senior season. And if he doesn't play well, again, we'll continue shaking things up at that spot. We went 2-10 our first year. That remained true from the original save. We are currently 1-2. About to face Oregon. But with all that change said, it's time to get back underway. The new look Stanford Cardinal hosting the 5-0 Oregon Ducks. It will still be Flintoff to get us underway as we are back rolling here after some shenanigans from the college football back end. For all I know, Coach Barrington has this team ready to try to stake a claim here early on. It's still a very young team, hoping to make some big plays as Oregon finds their tight end spinning off the tackle. We'll get them up to around the 42. And it looks like they'll be running a little bit of some hurry up. Now, we did change up the defense a little bit as well. We're going to rock with a 4-2-5 this year. Just, again, because most times people play spread, especially in the Pac-12, and a number 99 receiver here for Oregon. Not too often you see that, especially with a tight end rocking a number 12. As they go with a run down the middle, Camp couldn't stop him. A first down goes the Ducks. Now on top of a couple of the things that also did not change as it did the first go-around. Great pass break up there from Wright. We also did not change our coaches, our coordinators this year, so that will be a little different as well. That's definitely one of the things I'm not a huge fan of here in College Football 25, is you only have 1 week where you could fire your coaches and then make changes. So we'll have to stick with the same group we had in the first year, and then we'll probably change after this year. Oregon trying to go with that speed option. They do flick it to the outside. Camp will get about 9.5. And outside of just a couple positions here on defense, it's pretty much the same group we've become accustomed to. As they'll gain about a gain of 1. It will be enough for the first down as they move inside the 25. Now with a cutback lane, getting stopped, Edwards checks in. Again, while he may not be a starter full-time, we're still going to see him out there a good bit. And in the 4-2-5, he's going to have a spot to see a lot of playing time as it brings down a safety. Essentially, it's really 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and then a lot of corner and safety options. as Tafiti gets the tackle. We'll say he did not have great stats when it came to the simming of Season 1, but he still saw some good progression, so hopefully that remains the case as Ume will get a hit in on the quarterback. We'll end up forcing the throwaway at the 5, 3rd and goal. We got trips, or actually no, 2 to the left. Receiver kind of goes the running back, as they will let all the time develop and somehow still finding the touchdown. Camp and Ramos were over there. Oregon takes the lead 7-0. Even the cheer squad was surprised. It'll be time to get our offense out there, and with no more Chad Lloyd, Daniels finds himself a little bit lucky with another opportunity. Parrish, a running back here down the middle, will pick up 5. That is definitely one thing we're doing new this year. We're going to see a big rotation at that running back spot. Irvin checks in here on 2nd down, as he will bounce it to the outside, though it looks like a holding call from the tight end. That's the new starter in Bradley McCoy. But of course, Aomanor back here for another season. That's going to be a big gain for us, as it's a high pass for him. He drops it. Looked like he had it, but then coming down, just a great play made by the corner. It's 3rd and 14. Can our number 14 find us a 1st down? As he stays in the pocket, he gets dropped. We will have to punt. Now, of course, with us not getting as many transfers, the offensive line is not as strong as it was with us getting those transfers before the corruption. So we'll see if we can bounce back, but Oregon strikes on one play. Again, they find 7 in the end zone. Stewart makes it 14-0. The offense is going to have to do a lot here to keep us caught up with the Oregon Ducks as we start at the 17. Once again, it's Parrish, the running back, as he will go to the left-hand side for a gain of 3. Of course, we'll have to feel out the offense in this look, because again, we've got some different players out there. Slant, not caught. It's dropped again by Aomanor. So far, he's not playing the same as he did in our Season 1. Hard count from Daniels, no one jumps. It's a 3rd and 7. He will look to bounce, but great contain. It's 3 and out for the Cardinal offense. Now, as we have just one play left in the first quarter, I did also realize I did not input the MAT 10 slider. So we'll definitely have to do that again before our next game. As it's a deep comeback, Stewart breaks away. Luckily, Camp there to contain. He's got him down to the 32 is where they will start following this break. So far, it is all Oregon Ducks here in Palo Alto. 14-0 as we get the second officially underway with a trip look to the right-hand side, going towards the sideline, and it's Stewart again. I got a feeling we got to play a lot more man coverage here to just try to get that matchup a little bit tighter. 2nd and 1. There's Tafiti with the first big play of this new look defense. I don't expect us to be fantastic on defense. We are starting a lot of freshmen, redshirt freshmen. We just need to see us make some plays, as there is one of them. Camp breaks it up, and we will force that field goal attempt here at the 27, kicking this one just inside the 35. We'll call it a 44-yarder to put them up by a good chunk here, and they nail it. 17-0. We could really use with a good drive here from our offense then. Just inside 7 minutes here in the second quarter. Down the middle goes Irvin. Now obviously with us not having Chad Lloyd anymore, not having that top end speed at the quarterback spot, but Daniels, he can still rumble a little bit if he gets the blocking to do so. Right down the middle though, big number 4. Powered through, leaving us with a 3rd and 8. We got trips to the left-hand side, Borden lone to the right. Hard count from Daniels as he'll throw it under pressure. He finds Borden, who turns down the middle of the field and tracked down around the 20-yard line. Of course, he was coming off his biggest game, and then file corrupted. He saw a little bit more improvement during our new edition of the re-edition, as we find the true freshman Buck, who tried to buck a little too early there. We'll end up getting a gain of 2. Of course, Borden setting us up again. Really good player. If we could get him open a little bit more. Just as it was in the previous save, it's all going to come down to this offensive line. If they give us time to find our playmakers. As there's not much time there, Daniels, he's trying to bounce, getting tracked down. 3 sacks already. And this will be a 47-yard field goal for the true freshman. And he's got a little bit of accuracy and enough strength. His first field goal attempt with us is good. So the Cardinal get on the board. We make it 17-3, back to a 2-touchdown game. It uses a really big drive here from our defense. Oregon starts on the ground and they pick up 6. Of course, on defense, we need to do just a much better job of changing up our looks. That should help out a lot. As they stick with a running game here, dragged down short, though only needing inches here on third. They come out with a spread look to the right-hand side. We set up a blitz, but the RPO to Stewart. He's been the Ducks offense all day today. He sends us inside the 2-minute warning. Sticking with the passing game here, and Rose gets there a step too late. Of course, he and Coate being the sub-backers here for us. 2 players we did not get to see at all last year, and he knocks that one away, forcing a 3rd and 5. What we really need is consistent pass rush. That'll help the coverage, as it's to Stewart of all people, why not? We're going to try to shake it up then. We're moving right over to Stewart, and we just want him on him all day long, no matter where he lines up. Check down to the running back with a lot of green grass. Down to the 15. Without that pass rush forming up front, feel like we need to bring some blitzes. That is leaving us a little bit of a hard spot in terms of coverage. Pass to the outside, Ramos upends the tight end. And Oregon calls their first timeout. They got 2 more remaining, 52 seconds left on the clock here. They'll continue passing the ball. Back of the end zone, why not? 3rd on the day for Evan Stewart. This is exactly where we needed Manor to bail us out last year. With him back now, potentially we might have an opportunity to do so. As it is a 1v1, Manor comes down with this one. It may have been a slow start for him, but that is a big one. 2 spread here as we're approaching the 30-second mark. This time it's out for Borden, back shoulder, and he brings it in. 2-play touchdown drive. Ashton Daniels shows off that arm, and his 2 top receivers make the play. Make it 24-10, with still 30 seconds left in the half. With those 2, we might just have a deep ball game this year. Something we were missing again before that corruption. We'll reference it a few more times. Pass downfield, Stewart yet again. There really isn't much more we can do here. And how about we don't double bracket the guy on the inside? Can we actually look to bracket Stewart? That might help out a little bit more. Or opens things up down the middle, and the Ducks in their own 2-play drive strike yet again. You can tell it's a young secondary out there trying to figure things out. Do we have any more time here for some more shenanigans? Back to the Cardinal offense, starting at the 25, a little bit of some play action. They got guys covering downfield and slapping that one away, and an unnecessary hit downfield. They laid out, I believe that was Parrish. Not needed whatsoever. No flag comes in though. So it's going to be 2nd and 10, 13 seconds left. Play action, got to get rid of it, and apparently he was not outside the tackle box yet. Well, that is definitely something different with this save. We don't have an 89 overall left tackle to assume we'll get the blocks. Instead, Oregon has gotten around the edge rather quickly. Going back out to Manor, tipped away with a 4th and 21. I feel like you might as well chuck it up there, just as long as it doesn't go completely awry. 4 seconds left, final play of the half. Daniels, as pass rush gets back there with 1 second left. A field goal attempt it will be. That's why we've got to have better blocking. 0.2 seconds to throw the ball, and Oregon will be able to tack on a cheap 3 points here to end the half. Really disappointing on how that one came to an end. We had the 2-play touchdown drives, things were starting to look up. But the secondary just can't cover Stewart, and when we do, it's open for someone else. 10 targets, 8 catches, 148 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first half. Stewart by far has been the Oregon Ducks offense. You gotta look to corral him and then hopefully lock some other players up as well. But first off, we gotta get this offense rocking and rolling. Starting at the 25, we've got to have a touchdown drive here as Irvin can't find the edge. Offensive line always going to be important for recruiting, but definitely heading into the next year, this group could use a shakeup as it's a throw out to the flat and dropped by Bachmeier. One thing we definitely can't have is continually going 3 and out. As we come out here with a pistol strong play action, Daniels can't get rid of it. Instead, ball still out eventually. We jump on it and we'll have to punt. We'll take that, I guess, over a fumble. And of course, without us scoring at all, our first drive really need our defense to come ready to play. Here we start with a 2 spread. Hand this one off with wide open running room. Jones carries it down to the 30. Obviously, Oregon, one of the top dogs here, no pun intended to one of their rivals in UW. Top duck here as Tafiti gets the quick pressure, but the ball's out even quicker. We've talked a lot about Stewart and how good he's been. Got to give it to Moore as well at QB. He's been deadly accurate today as he's got the time to go to the outside, finding Dickey with the first. Perhaps a receiver wearing 99 is the reason we should be able to edit that, EA. If we could get that, that'd be great. With Stewart, another grab, make that his 9th on the day. 161 yards, and he's looking for another touchdown, though it's Wildcat here, or Wild Duck even, as they go to the outside, bouncing off of Ramos, dropped by Tafiti. At least that's the play we know we don't have to worry about Stewart. 2nd and goal. They do go with a run, and slipping the 2 tackles, the Ducks tack on another 7 points here in Palo Alto. I will say one thing I was hoping to see was that with having to start a new dynasty, maybe things would play a little bit smoother, especially the offensive line. Can't say that's been the case so far. As Daniels is sacked again, that's got to be number 6 on the day so far, and that might be lowballing it. 2nd and 23, Parrish, that running back, maybe back to the line. There just doesn't appear to be much that we can do against this Ducks team. Daniels, he's making a hot route. Trying to get this one down the field to Ayomanor with a step on the corner. Great tracking speed. Tipped away, and it will be another punt. Of course, with us punting in the back of our own end zone, it's really good field position here for the Ducks. They don't need help moving the ball, and we're giving them a lot of easy plays. Edwards tracks down Moore. End up limiting that to just a gain of 4. One of the shortest plays for the Ducks so far. As we missed the first sack attempt, it's the linebackers combining for it. Senior Matt Rosen, true freshman coat, make the play, and it is 3rd and 12. An opportunity here to just force a field goal attempt or leave a player wide open. This DB group, well, clearly they've got some room to grow. Well, we still have a little over a quarter left to play. I want to see this team continue fighting as we do get the end to jump off sides. Finally, we make a play on Jackson. We made a lot of plays in our backfield. Well, I'm not too sure. Just the 5 yards really makes up for it. 1st and 5. As Daniels, he takes the read option. He bounces to the outside. He will pick up the first down, but there is the yellow flag in the backfield. We finally get that play, and we get it taken away. 1st and 15, then Daniels sitting back in pistol. As that's some holding for sure on the outside. It's still out for Ayomanor, who gets the grab. He's at the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown goes Ayomanor. Boy, is it nice to be able to say that again. We need to have a big year from him. We bite into this deficit. We still got a long way to go. The offense striking. Maybe the defense can make a play themselves. I would love a turnover here, right? And Ramos, we know they could do it. But right now it's the running game that we're now starting to struggle with. Can we wrap up, please and thank you? Obviously, secondary focusing in on getting the stops in coverage. We can't then now allow them to just run wild, as they will go back to the run. Ume to eat it up in the backfield. Ramos joins in. I feel like Ume could really be a great DT for us. He has the potential. Of course, with us losing a year because we didn't redshirt him, you're going to need to see some big plays soon. But it's to the fourth we go. Oregon currently up 48-17, the number 2 team in the nation, though, as the pass goes off of number 8. I want to say I said Moreland. The Cardinal have an opportunity to get off the field here, as it is a split backfield, and it's the number 2s in for Oregon as well, as they load up for the deep shot. Right, one-on-one, he gets the pick. He shucks off the corner as well. He's looking to find some yardage, cut back lane, and he eventually will be dragged down at the 20. It might have been against the 2s, but we will take it. Offense back out. We keep our number 1 offense out there because clearly they need a lot of work. Bachmeier, he finds some green grass, holds on to this one, and gets us to around the 43. Now that we are finally 3 receivers deep, want to make sure we keep everyone well involved. Daniels making a change at the line. Ayomanor goes to the right-hand side. Throw towards the sideline. It is underthrown. That's been the biggest problem for Daniels so far throughout our time. Pick 6. Got to keep those passes up. They officially dropped the 50 bomb. Offense will continue rolling, because that's just what you got to do when you keep going down like we are here. Daniels, he looks to run, and he will pick up 5. So far today, really the only bit of offense we've had has just been deep shots to Ayomanor. Would like to find something a little bit more consistent the remainder of this game, as we find McCoy, who will get tracked down at midfield. Again, getting that start this year, though potentially the true freshman could look to take over him just to have a little bit more speed out there, as Ayomanor stopped the route. Not sure if that was intended, and then we just forgot what route it was, but if he kept going, that might have been a house call. Instead, 2nd and 10 here. Hard count from Daniels. No one jumps. He'll step up in the pocket, looking downfield for Ayomanor, and he did it again. He keeps the ball low, and he gets picked every time. Don't think Ayomanor is one you have to worry about overthrowing. Underthrowing is the biggest problem. As the Ducks take over on offense, they pick up 4. And I surely hope that our starting defense can outplay the number 2 offense here for the Oregon Ducks. As they'll go back to the running game, they'll pick up another 4. But will they try it yet again on 3rd? Trying to get it again, those 4 will do it. They swing it out instead, RPO, and there goes Merriweather. He's down to around the 35. He's a senior for the Ducks. Seeing some playing time here with the blowout lead. A couple more minutes left in this game, and the linebacker just got shook. Though, of course, do have to remember, running a 4-2-5 defense, that our linebackers are primarily cover linebackers, and there we go. That will show it. Matt Rose, he gets the pick, trying to bounce it to the outside, shakes one, dragged down at the 25. There's at least one thing we've done in this game. We've forced turnovers on the second team. Daniel's still out there at quarterback. Hasn't been his cleanest game either, as he lofts that one too far for anyone to get to it. Though, as he was once again under pressure, that might be the reason why. Facing the second defense as well, I expect our offense to do a little bit more here, as Daniels will look to scramble. It's not that elusive. Perhaps if he's gonna run, he just needs to go straight downfield. None of this sideways stuff. 3rd and 7. As Daniels, he's got Ayomanor with some more yards, as he will get by 1. Pulled down from behind, shy of the 40. I expect Coach Barrington is looking for at least one more touchdown here. Haddad, number 1 over on the left-hand side. He's another one of those true freshmen. As there was maybe a little space for him, instead Daniels, he'll look to scramble, sliding down prior to the 25. There's been times throughout this game where the offense has moved pretty smoothly. Again, facing the number 2 team in the nation, though, they brought the heat. Honestly, they're getting it done with only 3 of 4 rushers, which speaks to the lack thereof of our offensive line. Now with a Borden, one-on-one, he had a touchdown earlier, slapped away. The offense seemingly resorting to an all-or-nothing style after they went down earlier in this game. Trips to the right-hand side as they bring pressure. Daniels, he's going to roll, and it's thrown short, but Bachmeier adjusts, and the 24v24 goes to the Cardinal. We also will leave here with at least 24 points, though we could have used more than double that in this one. Ultimately, there were a lot of good signs in this one, but the end score being 55-24 is not a great sign. The deep ball game was there. We went down early. We weren't really able to test the running game, and perhaps that's where the offensive line will do much better. But Oregon really came in and showed why they are number 2 in the nation. And with a essential brand new team, there's a lot for us to learn. And adding a little bit of salt to the wound after that, Deontay Avery said, "Nah, I don't want to go to Stanford." He then commits to Arizona State. So we'll pull him off. He was one of the receivers we were going after. We're still in front for Chad Berryman. He is a route runner. We could use some of those. And on top of it, we also have Eberle, who is now favoring USC. Though he did just go, I believe, on a visit. So maybe there's a chance we could try to pull in. He's not set to declare yet, only go into his top 3, which we still are at the top of. So perhaps what we should look to do here, he is a 5-star, as we should look to get him in on a visit, which it doesn't look like we have the opportunity to get him in anytime soon. So we'll tack on the week 11 here, and it looks like the best option for him is going to be proximity to home. So we'll do a family visit. And on top of that, we probably should go ahead and toss on some points as well, just to help us try to fight USC off. And it also looks like USC had a visit for Sean Mintz. Here, one of the defensive linemen at 281 power rusher. He could play honestly anywhere across the line. He's now pulled in front there. So perhaps we need to do a little something more here, and we're only giving him a hometown hero. And he does fit well with the motivation. So let's pull the soft sell on him, and instead let's change that to a hard sell. Now that does still leave us with 25 extra points. So again, we'll do the same as we did with a receiver. We'll tack on the 25 to again try to fight off USC. We are still in front here for Carlisle, for LeClaire, and for Battles. Again, though, not all these guys are going to play the same position, truly. And for the 5-star, still doing well. And lastly, the corner, we're in front of. So for the most part, we're still doing really well in the recruiting process. Though we wish that was the same for what's happening on the field. But next time we have Oregon State. That is a winnable game. And if we're to not be the worst team in the division, well, we need to find some teams we can beat. And if we're to not be the worst team in the conference, well, we've got to start beating some teams. Luckily, Oregon State have already lost 3 of their conference games. We've only lost 1, so let's bounce back next time. Let's start to figure out this team, because again, first time playing with essentially a new team. Some players we're used to, some were not. And of course, they changed a little bit depending on how much they grew or didn't. So some things to iron out. I hope you guys aren't too disappointed as I was disappointed when I realized our other save was corrupted. But we got some key players, some other new key players. We'll try to get a little bit more of some of those freshmen involved that I think could help us out. Just boost us up a little bit and sort out this offense. And I'm still not sold on Daniels. You guys let me know who you think should be starting, Daniels or Elijah Brown, because we do need some speed with this offensive line. But we'll be back next time, every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday for this series. State's only challenge every Tuesday, Thursday on Madden 25. So hit that bell icon on the bottom right, the bell notification as well so you don't miss out. And we will see you next time, still at Palo Alto.